Welcome to Chromatic Rose is a podcast where a couple of Midwest women cultivate a community at the D&D table. I'm Soren.
And I'm Caitie, and today we are talking about in this garden, we're talking about games that we like that aren't D&D. Because we talk about D&D enough.
Yeah, God, stop it.
Jeez. Anyway, so we each have a handful of games that we like. Soren has a variety of games as far as like board games and video games and stuff like that. I, on the other hand, just have video games. So she's going to go first, and then I'm going to go second, and we're going to tell you the games we like.
It's true. We are.
That simple.
It's that easy. So I have my games kind of broken down into a few types of categories. When I started thinking of it, I didn't necessarily pick games that are like my all-time favorite that I can't stop playing. I actually made an effort, and Genshin is not on this list. You're welcome.
What?
You're welcome. Genshin is my favorite, but I talk about it so much. So I went ahead and picked some other games that I really enjoy. So I actually don't know how I did this, but I neatly organized mine into 2 board games, 2 phone games, and 2 video games that I just play on my PC. So to start it off, one of my games that I enjoy is a board game, and it is called Everdell. Everdell is a very adorable, I want to call it a town building game where you are utilizing resources, kind of like Catan in that way. You're trying to make the best village possible. And you're trying to beat out your opponents that you're playing against to have like the best, most diverse, most resourceful town. There are tons of expansions to this game. It can get super complicated, or you can just play the base game. The base game is all that TJ and I own. But there is an expansion that has otters in it. Oh. So you know I want that expansion. But yeah, so that's Everdell, just for like a tiny overview. If you like Catan, if you like a little bit of strategy, I'm not necessarily great at this game, but I certainly enjoy it. One of the first times I played it, I played it with my younger sister, and it's just really fun to watch people's like competition come out while playing this game. It's very cute and very fun. Up next on my board games is another kind of like town building game, and that is called Flamecraft. Flamecraft is another just like adorable game. I was immediately drawn to it because of the art. Big fan of the illustrations in this game. It is set on a giant like a computer desk mat that you just roll out on the table, and it is a little village that you play on. Your goal is to become the master of Flamecraft. So you are collecting dragons. You are, quote unquote, in their game, you're firing them up to use their different abilities. They've all got extremely like spot on names and like really cutie names, and you can play with a lot of other people. I think the last time I played it was with Caitie, and we played it with you, me, TJ, Sam, Alec, Rory. So there's 6. Yeah, Emily. So there's 7 of us that were playing. So fun. It can be a really long game. So if you enjoy longer board game sessions, it's for you. But what I think is so cool about this game, and I think Everdell as well, is both of the instruction manuals have a solo play function where you can play the game all by yourself if you want. And that was really enticing to me. So art usually draws me in, but I ended up really liking how this board game works out. Yes. If we're moving into phone games now for me, I really love phone games. For a while, I did I don't know, for the last 5 years prior, I didn't really have a lot of phone games. I didn't really care for them or think much about them. And in the last 5 years, I don't know, they've just piqued my interest. There's enough novelty there that I don't have to care too much about it. I can just play it when I feel like it. And that's kind of nice. So recently, one of my all-time favorite phone games was actually discontinued and taken off the App Store. I think just because of like funding purposes. But that game was called Switchcraft. And I'll get TJ a graphic so he can put that image up here. It is one of the best like match 3 games of all time, in my opinion. It had really witchy, like cool music, and it was a choose your own adventure game. So you were investigating like your friend's disappearance at this like magical college, and you had to play the levels to like get more story beats. So to replace that game, I went literally with the OG Candy Crush.
Not something that was on my bingo card for this episode. Gonna be honest, was not on my list.
Okay, so the reason I went with it is because it has name recognition, and it has a little bit of an aesthetic user interface, which is what I wanted. I went through several match 3 games to find a replacement. I don't think anything will ever replace Switchcraft. Instead of candy, Switchcraft was like gems, kind of like Bejeweled. I think that like used to be on the computer. I think you can do Bejeweled on your phone now. I haven't looked it up. Yeah. But I wanted something that was like casual, kind of puzzly, and had some fun difficulty to it. And so it was Candy Crush. I will say, if you are highly susceptible to like microtransactions, don't use it. Don't download it. It's a free game. Don't make micro purchases in this game, and you will see them at every freaking turn. Like, don't win a level. How about you spend 99 cents? No, that stuff doesn't faze me though. So like when I see it, I'm like, get out of my face. Let me play the candy game. But yeah, so if that kind of stuff bothers you, don't play this game. But it has been kind of sort of filling the void for me, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Okay, my next phone game is called Campfire Cafe. This is a management type game. It is all illustrated in like a 2D fashion, but you are managing a campground that has a food truck restaurant. All of the character designs in this game are highly stylized and adorable. You're like in a little woodland forest clearing that has your food truck, and you can upgrade your food truck. You can upgrade like the offerings you have for little critters that come and visit. You can upgrade the tables, and ultimately this helps you earn more money, yada yada. You can open up different sides of the game so that you can go do different like game modes. There's some treasure hunting. It is just, the music is also incredibly just like, I don't know, chill and relaxing. This is one that like the art got me big time. It's very cute, very wholesome. You don't have to think too hard about it. And the money, the currency in this game is acorns.
Oh, cute.
I don't play this game like a ton, but every once in a while, I just like want some calm music and I want to play a very mindless game. And so, yeah, I recommend Campfire Cafe. Cafe. It's fun. It's chill. Yeah. Okay. This is going so fast, but that's okay. Now we're moving into the video games that I have listed here. For my first video game on this list, I have Ooblets. If you've never heard of Ooblets, I don't know that I have recommended a game more just in passing to people. Ooblets is an adorable creature collector game mixed with dance battler. You become an assistant to Mayor Tinsel of I can't remember the name of the town, but you're essentially trying to like help revitalize the town and revitalize tourism, and along the way you collect these little critters known as ooblets that just kind of thrive around the different biomes in this game. To collect them though, you have to dance battle them. So when you first start the game, you select like your first ooblet, and they can follow you around. You can have, I think, up to 8 ooblets just like following behind you in a little duck trail. But you pick your first ooblet, and when you come into contact with another ooblet that you would like to make part of your brood, you dance battle them, and it utilizes a like a playing card game type dance battler. But the music is so dopey and fun and silly, and the card game itself has actually been really fun to learn. It's very simple, but I know that there is some like strategy type gamers out there that could like min-max the crap out of this game and have a really good time. So Ooblets, you also get to create I would say like a Stardew Valley-esque farming sim, like farming area in your game. You have a house that you can decorate and collect things, and you also have like farmland. And ultimately, when you beat an ooblet in a dance battle, they give you a seed of themselves, essentially, like of their like ooblet race, so that you can plant it yourself and grow an ooblet. So ooblets are like grown like a plant, but they fart out the seed, and it's the funniest thing ever. It's highly novel and highly silly.
That's funny.
If you're a goofy goose, you will probably enjoy ooblets. Okay, and for my last recommendation, my last video game on the list, it is called Garden Galaxy. I'm realizing I picked like for my phone games and video games, I picked a lot of like chill, cozy games. So Garden Galaxy is it's like an environment builder. If anyone listening has heard of the game that recently came out called Tiny Glade, it is like Tiny Glade in that you are creating an environment. It is not like Tiny Glade in that you don't have every item or like plant available to you.
Right.
In Garden Galaxy, there is a large candle that sits at the center like of the world in a way of the, like the play space, and you earn money through these little sprites that run around the game. When you click on them, you get a coin, and all of these coins have different colors. You have different collections based on different coins. Like every gold coin can give you X amount of different types of items, and so on and so forth. So you collect a bunch of coins, and then you give them back to the candle to get items.
Right.
So it's an extremely, I think some people can do this game fast, but I consider it a slow game. I consider it a head empty, just want make pretty hill with trees and plants on it. I made a cute like outdoor park, and I'm working on like a little winter scene at the moment. I'll try to get some screenshots of those so we can show those in the episode for anyone watching. But it also has the most simple, calming music ever.
Yeah.
And so I could sit and play this for too long, and it's very, very, very nice. It's very nice. So that is my last video game recommendation.
To me, this list, and I realize this is not your all-time favorites, but the list that you curated for today is very like cute, cozy, resource management, environment and oriented.
Yeah.
They all have that flavor.
Yeah.
If there's like a through line, it's like
for
environment, aesthetic.
Yeah, except for Candy Crush. But yeah.
Well, but even then you were like there was like an aesthetic.
Yeah. Yes. There's a cute component and
an aesthetic user interface or whatever. Yeah. Interesting. Very good. We're gonna roll with it in between.
Yeah.
This one is on the current table.
Okay.
So things that we are currently into. What is your current phone wallpaper and or lock screen?
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
There it is. Whoa. There it is. We got it. We got there.
Sanrio character squished up against the screen as my lock screen, and then my wallpaper. I don't want you to see my habit tracker. It's cherries.
Okay, great.
Cherries and flowers.
I maintain my phone screen so little. Finding wallpaper for my phone stresses me out. Because it has to look good in multiple ways and serve like an aesthetic purpose. I have on multiple occasion gone to Pinterest and the internet looking for a new lock screen or wallpaper because I've wanted a different vibe. And I end up looking at it for about an hour and finding a couple of things that I really, really like. And then they either are blurry or don't fit or whatever. And then I get frustrated and then I go back and it's just a whole thing. So I found one this last fall that worked and I said, okay. And then if I also have different like screens for work and personal and stuff like that. So this doesn't show up. This is the one that shows up when either of those are off. So
oh yes,
it's like a little witchy. Very fall oriented, but again, I found it and then said
that one.
I tried to find one that was Critical Role. I tried to find one that was Buffy, and I found two that I really, really liked, and it just was impossible to get them to look good on the actual phone. So
yeah,
if anyone has recommendations about where to find those so that I can find one that doesn't make me angry.
Does that partner, like, do you do same lock screen as wallpaper?
But I also have my apps matching the wallpaper. So they are like...
It's all tinted,
which there was at one point when Sam wanted to like play something on my phone while we were driving and he got this and like immediately could not find the Spotify because it was not green, which I thought was funny.
That is funny.
Anyway, great. So I have Reccs and it looks like I have more, but there's one that's like a twofer. So I actually have the same amount as Soren.
So I like actually have the same amount.
Followed the prompt that I was given. Anyway.
I just maximized my answers.
Yeah. And I have a feeling aesthetically and in general, this is going to tell a much different story. Except for one that will kind of
I'm so excited.
Okay, so the first one, I'm assuming you put it in the order that is Inscryption. Immediately out the gate, a different vibe. So I also pulled up Wikipedia pages so that I could say words about it. So Inscryption came out in 2021. It's a roguelike deck building game that was published or developed by Daniel Mullins and published by Devolver. It like there were a lot of different versions as it like became developed, but it bends a lot of different genres. So it's like deck building, it's roguelike, it's turn-based strategy, it's escape room, it's puzzle, it's adventure. The vibes are immaculate. The soundtrack is also immaculate. And the plot is also immaculate. And I can't say too much about it because if you haven't played it, there are twists in the game that are best discovered and not told. The replayability is not great because again, once you've discovered it the one time, you can't like rediscover it.
It's not like Balatro where you can just keep going.
But I mean, you kind of can. Like I've restarted Inscryption probably 3 or 4 different times and just played through the first act and not played through like played in the first act several times. But it is one of my favorite games to show other people. I got Alec to play that game. I got Emily to play that game. I don't think I was the catalyst for TJ playing that game, but TJ has also played that game. It is just 12 out of 10. Sam showed it to me and had to help me like learn how to play it a little bit. But once you know how to play it, it's very good. It, I think, is technically, I think they categorize it technically as like a kind of spooky horror game. I see what Soren's face is doing. I holistically disagree. It's like, it's got a vibe for sure, but it's not, to me, is not a scary game at all.
That vibe is spook,
but not horror. It's not a scary game. There's a difference between spooky and scary to me. And it is a vibe that is dark and like ooky, but it is not at all scary. It's not scary at all. I don't like scary games. I tried to play through Resident Evil and it freaks me out. I I am not a scary game player. What?
I was just going to say, maybe not spooky, maybe eerie. Like everything
Okay, sure.
feels kind of off. Like something's off and you feel a little unsettled playing it, but it's not like I'm going to die tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess I also don't feel unsettled playing it. I don't, it's not unsettling to me. It is mysterious.
Yeah.
But it is not like yeah, again, I'm not unsettled. I'm not scared of it.
I'm just a
Um
baby. There it is.
okay, sure.
It's just a baby.
I mean, yes, it is a little I guess eerie. It is a little eerie. But to me it just feels like a darkly lit mysterious game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Inscryption. You should play it. If you haven't, you should. Next one is Portal. So Portal is a puzzle platform game. It's made by Valve, which is the same company that owns Steam. They have stopped playing or making games, which is a bummer. Portal is just really a series of puzzles that you have to solve by teleporting through portals. You have a blue portal, and eventually you also get an orange portal. It might be that might be backwards. It might be orange first. I can't remember. But you eventually get both portals. So at one point you get access to only one portal. The other portal is put around the room for you. And so you solve a puzzle, an escape room like puzzle via portals. Eventually you have access to both portals and you have to decide where to put the portals in order to solve the puzzle. Sometimes it's object-based puzzles. Sometimes it's momentum-based puzzles. But the cool thing about this puzzle game is that there is also a plot. It's not just solving puzzle after puzzle after puzzle for no reason. Like there is a through line. You are challenged by an artificial intelligence named GLaDOS. And she is putting you through a series of puzzles in the Aperture Science Enrichment Center. And it is so good. It's a really old game. It came out in 2007. Yeah. And the sequel, Portal 2, was released in 2011. But it's still, I have played through both within the last year and a half, and it stands up. Like the graphics maybe are like you can feel how old it is.
Yeah.
But the gameplay stands up. So 10 out of 10, you should play Portal. When you play Portal, you have to think with portals, and that only makes sense once you start playing it. But I remember playing it in high school, like at Dad's house, and me getting stuck, and he would walk into the living room and be like, think with portals, and keep walking. And I'd be like, Dad, frick, Dad.
Shut up.
Anyway, the cake is a lie. Moving on. Okay, this is my twofer. So this is starting with Assassin's Creed and also going into BioShock. So these I lump together because these are games that I played almost exclusively in college. Assassin's Creed is a historical action adventure video game. I played mostly Assassin's Creed 2, and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. After those 3 games, I kind of jumped off the bandwagon, largely because I got to be an adult and had less time to play video games. But also because, I don't know, I am not as mesmerized with the more recent games.
Sure.
They have gotten, I think, I feel like with every game after Assassin's Creed 3, which also wasn't a very well-received game. Well, I guess that one was the American Revolution, huh? Oh, I'm talking about Revelations. Assassin's Creed Revelations was not a greatly received game. But they just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger every single time.
Yeah.
And I get pretty overwhelmed with open world games.
Yeah.
There's just way too much for me to do.
Yep.
I want to be able to play the through line plot and then play the rest of it afterwards when I want to and have time.
Mhm.
But I tried to come back to Assassin's Creed with Assassin's Creed Origins, and I was really excited because it was ancient Egypt, and I was an ancient Egypt girly. And it like I had to do all of these side quests to make my character strong enough to play the through line plot, and
Mhm.
it drove me nuts. I hate it.
Mhm.
So I've tried to come back again later with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which takes place in ancient Greece, and I like love mythology, so like I was also here for that. And you finally, this isn't the first time, but you could play as a female protagonist. That was also exciting to me. And again, it's just like it's too big. It's too big. I want a smaller world to play within. So
Mhm.
I've fallen off the bandwagon with Assassin's Creed, but there was a time, especially when you were playing as Ezio in Florence, that was
Mhm.
so freaking cool. And then I've studied abroad in Florence, and being able to go and see the exact same landmarks that I played through a game with, and seeing them in person was like a really cool experience. Um,
Mhm.
so it had its time, and I know there are people who still like the games, and I've been trying to give them a second shot, and it's just been really hard.
Yep.
The other one is BioShock. This is the only first person shooter game that I've played well. And by well, I mean fine. On
By
easy,
fine, I
and
mean I did
I did it,
it.
and I'm bad at it, but I enjoyed
Sure.
the aesthetic.
Yeah.
um, BioShock came out again in 2007.
Mhm.
Is an old game, but it keeps up. It is a cool aesthetic. It is a cool concept.
Mhm.
And then I also played BioShock Infinite. That one was released in 2013. Um, Same premise, but like a different aesthetic.
Mhm.
And I like the thinking it makes you do. Like, it is not
Mm.
just a shoot 'em up pow pow game like a COD or something like that.
Yeah.
There is a far more deep, like, thinky aspect to it.
I like the plot
Cerebral.
in it a lot.
Yeah. So it is also fun. I have tried to replay it. I'm still as bad as I was in college. I tried to then also play BioShock 2, where you play as a big daddy. I am equally bad, if not worse, at that. Now that one, BioShock, is a scary game.
It
Um,
is spooky.
it
Like,
like that one actually, I yes, and this is as far as into scary that I generally get. There's a moment in BioShock 1 where you're in the medical pavilion and the lights go out, and you have to just like keep walking. Like, there's no way to turn them back on. You have to progress the game in order for the thing. And there's like a little jump scare. And I remember playing that in our sophomore suites at Wesleyan, and Cicely being like, what are you playing?
no Five Nights at Freddy's for you.
I will watch other people play horror games. I love watching other people play horror games.
I do
I
too.
cannot play them myself. Cannot stress that enough.
I'll let Markiplier do it.
Yes, I love watching Markiplier play those games. I, however, will not be playing those games. Okay. Continuing on, Katamari Damacy. Um, so this is the one that doesn't fit my aesthetic so far.
Sure it does.
This one, it came out in 2004 for the PlayStation 2. You're a diminutive prince on a mission to rebuild the stars. And you are put on this mission by your father, who destroyed the constellations and the moon. His name is the King of all Cosmos. And you rebuild the stars by rolling a magical, highly adhesive ball called a Katamari around various locations collecting increasingly larger objects ranging from thumbtacks to human beings to mountains. And eventually it was large enough to become a star. The setting characters, they're all highly stylized. They celebrate and satirize facets of Japanese culture. And the soundtrack, and I cannot stress this enough, is banging. My dad played this game a lot, and it was easy enough as a kid for me to also play, although there are some timed ones that were really hard for me as a kid. But you like roll the Katamari around with your thumbsticks, and that's kind of it. There are different ways to roll it. You can like turn it around. You can charge it up and roll fast. You can make the prince jump over it. But like that is the only mechanic. And so this is like my mindless game that I play sometimes. It is fun to roll things up in a ball. And then the king tells you that it's not good enough. And you say, okay. And then go do it again. They also released Katamari Damacy REROLL, and some other, like, I think there was like a mobile game at one point, and all of these kinds of things. It also holds up, and my dad would often listen to the soundtrack while he worked and stuff like that. So I got to listen to the soundtrack, and it's just very good. Okay, next is all the Nancy Drew games. This was a game. So when I would come home from school, I lived with or hung out with my grandparents after school, and Grandpa and I would often play computer games. My grandpa is not of the digital era, as you can imagine. So I drove the computer, and he would just like sit with me, and he would get out a legal pad, and he would write clues down and stuff like that as we would play. So it's a very nostalgic game for me, but also one that just came out with new game, Nancy Drew and the Mystery of the Seven Keys, and it was open world, like you could walk around. It was not just point and click, which was crazy. But it's just like a thinking game. Like it's not a game where you shoot things. It's not a game where you have to like actively hit things or jump over things, platform, anything like that. It's simply you just gather information and you make deductions based on that information. And I think that's pretty rad. I have really enjoyed watching Gab Smulders. She has played through every game, and it's fun to play. It's fun to watch her do that, and it's made me want to go back and do it. And it gives me solace that she always plays as a junior detective, not a senior detective, because I always felt like there was a time when I would have to shift over to the senior detective, and she doesn't, so I don't have to either.
You're like, so I have permission to not.
Yeah. And it's like they've got some cool like historical things that kind of come along with that as you look at different places and learn about different things. And I don't know, I think that's cool.
It is cool.
My last one is just like an honorable mention because it is in fact just D&D and it's Baldur's Gate. So this is one that I've been playing a lot lately with TJ and with my dad, doing playthroughs of Baldur's Gate. It is just D&D in video game form, so it felt inaccurate to call this a game that is not D&D. But it is also fun, and there's cool customer character customization, but also I think, and I have said this before on this podcast, but it helps you digest the rules of D&D in a helpful way, I think.
It like fast tracks your knowledge expansion.
Right. So as you look at these two, look at the very different vibes that they are.
There are two wolves in all of us.
I also have some like cute, cozy games that I enjoy as well sometimes. But I pulled up my Steam library and I was like, I don't know how to even start. This isn't even managing like the Mario Kart and Super Mario Party and stuff like that I also enjoy playing. But these are the ones that if you had to ask me for a game recommendation, I would probably tell you one of these games.
One of these.
That is it for us this week. Thanks for spending time with us today. Jesus. Thanks to Noah Trumbull for the use of our theme song. There is a link to his Instagram in the episode description. Be sure to give him a follow and stay up to date on his band and music. Get me out of here, Soren, please, God.
If you're enjoying the show, there are a few things we'd love if you do. First, go ahead, leave us a review because reviews help other listeners find us. Second, follow us wherever you get your podcasts so that you can get to our new episodes easier. And lastly, follow us on Facebook or Instagram where we post the most to see what we're up to and be the first to know when a new episode drops.
We also want to hear from you. Did something come up in today's conversation about games that made you think, do you have a game you think we should play? You should drop those in the comments. Or do you want to suggest a topic that we talk about next? Those are always welcome. Or do you just want to say hi? Send us an email at chromaroses@gmail.com, CHROMAROSES@gmail.com. It's all lowercase. We can't wait to hear from you and also to end this episode.
This has been Chromatic Roses. I'm Soren.
And I'm Caitie. Mommy, your stinking hobbies.
I love you. Bye.